Mr. Brandon Brewer, and he's going to join us here in just a minute. And then when Brandon finishes up, we're going to bring out a former professional player and a local favorite, John Madden, and he's going to speak to the parents and the athletes. And both of these gentlemen bring interesting perspectives to the advancement of baseball at the college level and at the professional level. And we just feel that it's time for the players and the parents both to hear some of that information, and from people who have lived it and actually work in that industry directly. Let me find my piece of paper. So before we get into our guest speakers, just real quick, I want to roll off a list of teams here. In our 13 and under division, from Denham Springs, we have the Louisiana Sox. From Austin, Texas, the Yeti Baseball Club Crawdads. From San Antonio, Texas, the San Antonio Kings. From Miami Lakes, Florida, the Elite Squad Outlaws. From Baton Rouge, Louisiana, the Louisiana Tigers.
13.
Also from San Antonio, Texas, the San Antonio Kings Martinez. From Hialeah, Florida, the All-Stars Baseball Club. From Lexington, South Carolina, the Canes Baseball from SCBA. From Beaumont, Texas, the Southeast Texas Mizuno Black. From Los Angeles, California, a town I was just in 3 days ago, the LA Extreme. From Memphis, Tennessee, the Memphis Tigers. From Missouri, Columbia, Missouri, the Columbia Warriors. From Greenfield, Indiana, the Midwest Astros. From Winter Park, Florida, the Quinco Wolverines. From Oxford, Mississippi, the Yabalusha Giants. And from Catamount, Florida, the West Florida Hammerheads Elite. In our 14 and under division, from Baton Rouge, the Louisiana Lugnuts. From Dripping Springs, Texas, the LBC Central Madrid. From Seminole, Florida, the Bulls. From Cincinnati, Ohio, Hamilton Joes. From Port St. Lucie, the Mets Scout Team, Team Marucci. From Henderson, Nevada, the Toros, Nevada Baseball.
Woo!
From Northville, Michigan, the Michigan Blue Jays. From Miami, Florida, the Seahawks. From Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the TFM Rebels. From Pembroke Pines, Florida, the Miramar Vipers. From Miami, Team 305. From Windsor, Colorado, the NC Bombers. From Denver, Colorado, Armor Baseball. From El Paso, Texas, the El Paso Sun Kings. From St. George, Utah, Sand Baseball. And from El Centro, California, Impact. That's our 32 teams that are going to make up 16 divisions for this week's Elite World Series. Now, without further ado, we bring to the carpet, the green carpet, from Stetson University, assistant baseball coach, Brandon Brewer.
Stetson Hatters, home of Corey Kluber, two-time Cy Young winner.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Stetson University, baby.
All right. Now, like you said, my name is Brandon Brewer. A little bit about myself. I went to Apopka High School in Central Florida. Big-time baseball program there. I played college baseball at the University of West Florida, a Division II school. Ended up winning a national championship at the Division II level. Got drafted, played a couple years with the Los Angeles Angels. Enjoyed my time there. But the thing that, there's a couple things that I want to preach to you guys, especially being where I'm at now, is the fact that there's a wrong way and there's a right way of going about your business. Okay. I know moms and dads in the stadium ask you youngins to maybe clean the room every once in a while. do some things around the house, okay? Those little things shape you and mold you into who you grow up to be, all right? At Stetson, we are a private institution. We are Division I. We actually ran off a pretty good year this year. Made it to a super regional. Played North Carolina. We were about 2 feet Friday night, 2 feet Saturday night from going to Omaha. We ended up going 48-13 this year. Had 6 guys drafted and 1 actually signed in the first round. So it's going to be fun to watch those guys, chase their dream. I can ask everybody in this stadium who wants to play college baseball. Raise your hands.
Frank.
Right? Who wants to play professional baseball? Raise your hand. Okay. All right.
Next
Did,
slide.
Now,
did
I
you
asked
log
our
in?
guys that at the beginning of the year who wants
Put your
to play
password in
professional
and then
baseball.
reset your password or
Every
your
guy in our
email.
locker room raises their hand.
And then maybe it's
Okay.
your password's not. You
Out
need
of
to
all
reset
those
it.
guys, out of the 35-man roster,
Mhm.
we might have 2 that understands what it takes. And it's just not on the baseball field, okay? In college, you guys are going to start getting recruited. You're not getting any younger. The better the GPA, the better the test scores, okay? That makes our money, our baseball money, go farther to try to sign you to a good deal and put players on the team around you. All right. In baseball, it's not unheard of, but there are too many full scholarships. All right. I know parents and kids talk.
11 and a half.
You hear, "Oh, my son got a full ride."
Nope.
And I'm not saying that's never happened, but you've got 11.7 scholarships for 27 players, and we've got to divvy that up for 27 guys. Okay, you're allowed 8 walk-ons to get yourself to a 35-man roster. All right, so the better the grades, the more money you can get because it makes our money go farther. I know at Stetson, if you have, there's institutional, there's differences at every institution, but at Stetson, if you have one of the 4, if you have graduated with a 3.5 GPA or higher, if you score over a 1280 on the SAT, a 27 on the ACT, and then graduate within the top 10 percentile of your graduating class, you're what's called a stacker. We can stack academic and our baseball money to give you that full ride that everybody's looking for. All right. You cannot take baseball and financial money, but if you have one of those 4, it makes our money go a lot longer. Helps your mom and dad's pockets as well. So we, the type of athlete that we're looking for, guys, gets it done in the classroom. We had a team GPA of a 3.3 GPA this year. We knocked it out of the park. When it comes to understanding what you've got to do in the classroom, then that transfers over here on this baseball field. Okay? When we get it done in the classroom, we can come out to baseball, which is supposed to be your paradise, and not have to worry about the homework you didn't turn in, or the test you didn't study for, or the project you didn't do. So when you don't do those things, you get clouded here, and then you're no help to anybody. All right? So when we're on the trail recruiting you guys, we talk to your high school coaches. We talk to your travel ball coaches. We talk to people that are close to you, okay? To try to find out if you guys are the type of athlete and student that we want in our organization, all right? And that doesn't go just for Stetson. That goes for every team in the country because you're an investment. you're an investment. If somebody's going to give you $35,000 a year to go to school, you're an investment. You know. So when we're on the trail, we're looking for kids that don't want to be mediocre, rudimentary, basic. Basic's a big word these days. All right. We're not looking for mediocre. We don't want average in our program, and you guys shouldn't want to be average. There's a bunch of kids sitting in here. Look around. How are you going to stand out, next to your buddy beside you? All right? It's a tough game to play, guys. I got drafted. Once you get drafted, if you get drafted, it's less than 1% chance you make it to the big leagues. It's a tough sport. You can't put all your eggs in on this thing here. All right? So, when, like I said, back to being average, guys, we don't want it in our program. You've got to understand that when we can look to you and know that you're being accountable, you're being responsible, not doing things that are going to hurt your chance to play this game and go to school, maybe like social media. We check that. And it's not just us. We check that. You guys got to understand that, these little things can cost you guys a lot. I know moms and dads are up there shaking their heads, going, I see, I told you so. But you're listening from somebody who's in the business. We check these things, guys. It's not, I understand you're young. I understand you're maturing every day. All right? But you've got to understand, always being the cool guy and doing things that aren't right, and then posting it is not the way to go, guys. You've got to understand that doing the right things, being responsible, and waking up every day and trying to get a job done is what's going to get you guys where you want to be. Everybody here, every kid said they wanted to play college baseball. Every kid here wanted to play professional baseball. Don't let something, a choice, a bad choice, ruin that for you guys. I know there's a lot of talented kids in here. Don't let a bad choice ruin it for you. Listen to that little voice in the back of your head. Listen to your moms and dads. Understand that when you wake up, it's on you to get better every day. Our head coach, Steve Trimper, has a 5% rule. We're trying to get better by 5% every day. When you look at life like that, you lay your head down at night. What did I do to better myself? In the classroom, with my family, with baseball, with lifting weights. It all gets tied in together, guys. You can't have one without the other. So when it comes to that, we recruit those kind of guys. And, you look in our dugout this past year, every guy in that locker room was pulling in the same direction. We knew what we wanted to do. We knew what we accomplished. We got it done in the classroom. We got it done in the weight room. We got it done on the field. So when we're out on the trail, we make sure that you're the kind of athlete that we want in our program. And it's not just Stetson, believe me. You see kids get, they commit to schools, and schools, listen, you need to go find someplace else. Maybe they did see something on social media. Maybe they heard about you doing something in the middle of the game that they didn't like. All right? You guys are an investment. There's a story at Stetson. We went and watched, this is before my time there. We went and watched a catcher, go play in a ball game down in Port St. Lucie. And, we had heard good things about him. We went and watched him. The kid didn't do the right things. He was throwing his stuff in the dugout, wasn't doing the right things when he got on the field, taking his at-bats right into his defense, and it really turned our recruiter off on the kid. But there happened to be a kid throwing against them on the mound that was throwing the ball pretty well. We offered him a scholarship, And now the guy's name is Corey Kluber. He's in the big leagues. He's, kind of good. So understand, there's always somebody watching you guys. Always. Whether it be walking into the park and your mom has your duffel bag, or carrying your bats, or the parents or the coaches are in the dugout cleaning up after the game. Guys, these are things that we watch, not just us. Like I said, teams across the country do it. You've got to understand that doing the right things puts you in a good position at the end of the day to accomplish what you guys want to accomplish. So, if I can leave you with anything, in Coach Steve Tripper, our head coach's words, try to be 5% better every day. Okay? When you lay your head down at night, you will look at the body of work that you've done throughout the day, and you embrace it, whether you didn't get anything done, you didn't turn your homework in, you didn't come out here and do what you're supposed to do for coach. You embrace it, and you try to be better the next day. Okay? And guys, make sure you're making the right decisions. I can't stress that enough. Make sure you're making the right decisions in the classroom, who you hang out with, what you do on the field. Guys, your parents and your coaches, they love you. You wouldn't be here without them. Moms and dads, you guys deserve a round of applause for everything that you guys do. Kids, understand they break their backs for you. You guys get to do what you love because of them. Thank them. Don't throw the equipment they buy you. Don't break the equipment they buy you. It's a game. Understand that failure is going to happen. It's a failure sport. Understand that you have to embrace it and get better. All right? Thank you guys for having me.
Hit it right on the nail. Somebody's always watching.
Thank you, Brandon. Well, I hope that some of our athletes took some of that information to heart. I know that